What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about what I believe are the top 5 exercises that you need to do to just stay generally strong and fit overall as an athlete, as a warrior, as just a freaking good human being. These are really simple. You don't need a gym to do any of these. There's only one that you actually need weight, but you can use whatever you want to use for weight. It's super simple. I actually do all of my strength work just right here under this freaking pole barn on the farm. I don't need a gym to do these things. So we're going to go over each one, all 5 of them, and talk about why they're in my lineup of the top 5. And I'll demonstrate the movement for you guys and talk about numbers and how often you should do each of these. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so the number 1 exercise I think that we should all work on a regular basis is the pull-up, man. The pull-up is just a basic, to me, movement that every human being should be able to do just as a survival mechanism, right? If you fall down off of something or you need to pull yourself up over a ledge, you need to be able to pull your body weight up and over some sort of obstacle. The great thing about the pull-up is it hits a lot of major muscle groups all at the same time. You're hitting your lats, you're working your biceps, your forearms, your grip strength. You're even getting a lot of core work done with the pull-up. In my opinion, if there was only one exercise that I had to choose to do with a short amount of time, it would just be max pull-ups. It just covers down on so much. How often should you do pull-ups? I think optimally you should do at least 30 pull-ups 3 times a week, all right? Obviously, the more you do them, the better you're going to get at them, just like everything else. But if you don't practice your pull-ups at least 3 times a week, you're not going to see a lot of improvements, and you're probably going to go downhill. So every time I do pull-ups, I'm trying to do at least 30 during the workout. Sometimes, obviously, I'll do a lot more than that, but that would be the minimum number. So I'll demonstrate the movement for you guys. I actually like to do pull-ups on these old rafters on this barn. There's a rafter right up behind this tin right here. And the reason I like to do pull-ups on this is because it really hits my forearms and my grip strength. It's a lot harder to do them here than it is on a bar, so I enjoy that. Obviously, for a dead hang pull-up, it is exactly what it sounds like it is. You have to come from a dead hang, all right, all the way down, arms out, and you don't have any motion in your hips, so no kipping. You're going to keep your body nice and level and pull straight up, chin over the bar or over the rafter for me. If your chin doesn't go over the bar, it doesn't count. Dead hang pull-ups are freaking tough. The other way to do a pull-up is a kipping pull-up, where you're actually using momentum created by your legs in order to give you a little boost to get up and over the rafter. I usually start with dead hang pull-ups until I just can't do another dead hang pull-up. And if I want to get a couple more sets in, I'll start to use that kipping motion just to help me get some more numbers in, because after a few sets of dead hang pull-ups, unless I'm really tuned up on this, I've got to move to the kipping motion. So practice both, use them both. The dead hang is going to help build more strength and make you better at pull-ups faster, but if you want to get those extra reps in, start that kip. All right, the number 2 is the push-up. I think, again, just like the pull-up, the push-up is a functional movement for every human being. It's how you're going to, if you get knocked down, it's how you're going to get yourself up off the ground. If somebody gets up in your space, that's the power that you're going to use to push somebody or get somebody out of your space. It hits a lot of muscle groups just like the pull-up, and that's why I like the push-up so much. It's hitting your chest, your shoulders. You're getting a lot of core work in with the push-up, and all around, it's a great thing. Push-ups, like all these exercises, you have to stay on it, man. The push-up isn't like, for me, running. if I stop running for a few months, I can jump right back into running and I can do pretty good, right? If I don't do push-ups for a couple of months, I'll go and try to do some push-ups and it's freaking sad. I mean, real sad. So how often should you do push-ups? I think push-ups are an exercise that you should do every single day, man. I would say a minimum of 50 per day, because you don't need a bar to hang off of. You can drop down and do push-ups anywhere. So why would you not incorporate these into your daily routine? You're hitting a ton of muscle groups, you're building strength, it's a practical functional movement, and super, super simple to execute a set of push-ups anywhere at any time of the day. So I'll demonstrate a proper push-up. So we're gonna get our hands about shoulder width apart, maybe a little wider than shoulder width apart. We need a nice straight back, all right? We're gonna keep our head up, just like this. We're not hanging our head down, keeping our head up. We're gonna go all the way down, touch our chest to the ground, and then we're gonna push all the way back up and lock our elbows out. That's a proper push-up. This is not a proper push-up. This is not a proper push-up. There's all kinds of freaking crazy push-ups y'all do. Flat back, chest to the ground, head up, all the way back up, lock your elbows out. That's one. When you do your push-ups, you do multiple sets throughout the day, do them on an incline, kick your feet up on something, do them on a decline, and do them flat. Just switch it up. Like anything and everything else, the more you switch it up, the more it forces your body to adapt to different types of stimulus. So that's the push-up. That's my number 2. All right, number 3 for me is going to be the sit-up. Core strength is extremely important in all aspects of movement. So we need to have something that specifically targets the core. Just the regular old sit-up has worked great for me over the years, all right? I'm going to demonstrate what a good sit-up looks like here in just a minute. But again, this is what we're doing to focus on our core. How often should we do sit-ups? I think about the same frequency as we do our pull-ups. About 3 times a week is about what I do sit-ups. And I'll do more sit-ups than other exercises because they go by so quick, and I can sit down. You can bust out a set of 100 sit-ups in one set once you have been practicing them for a while. So it's easier to get higher numbers of sit-ups. 3 times a week. I'll demonstrate one of these for you. You don't need anybody to hold your feet, nothing like that. You just put your feet flat on the ground. You take your hands, grab your shoulders, all right? So hands need to be on the shoulders. We'll start with our elbows on the top of our knees. We're going to come all the way down until our back is flat on the ground. And then we're going to come up and touch our elbows to the top of our knees. All right, that's 1 rep. 2 reps. All right, that to me is the standard for a sit-up. That's the standard that I do my sit-ups to. Again, super easy exercise. Do them 3 times a week. Every time you do them, get a minimum of 100 reps in. If you got to split that up in the beginning into multiple sets, that's totally fine. But you need to have something that specifically targets your core. Our push-ups and our pull-ups are going to get better as we strengthen our core. All right? So sit-ups is my number 3. All right, number 4 for me, guys, is the burpee. What I love about the burpee is it really gets your heart rate up. It gets you breathing hard. It ties a couple of different exercises together. So you're going to have basically your squat, your push-up, and then standing up from the squat and then jumping. The jumping motion is going to hit more into your lower legs, your calves, the bottoms of your feet, your quads. The burpee is almost a full body exercise. You're engaging everything from top to bottom, and it gets your heart rate up. You do a set of push-ups, you do a set of pull-ups, you're not really going to get breathing real hard and heavy, but the burpee is the opportunity to just hit the entire body, get the heart rate up, and they can get pretty miserable over time. How often should you do burpees? I mean, as often as you want. I'm gonna say once a week, spend some time on burpees. How many should you do? I would go, if you're gonna do them once a week, go with at least 100 burpees per week. Again, if you gotta split that into sets of 10, split it into sets of 10 sometimes and just increase the intensity. But, you know, every couple of weeks, do a straight set of 100 without stopping. All right? So, how do I do a burpee? I'm gonna go down, put my hands on the ground, kick my feet back. I'm gonna do a push-up. Bring my feet back in, stand up, and I'm gonna jump and just make sure my feet get completely off the ground. So that to me is the standard for a good burpee. Do 100 of those in a set, you're gonna be winded, son. It's an awesome full body workout that you don't need any equipment for. Number 5 is gonna be the squat. This is the only exercise that I would recommend doing or using weight with. Yeah, you can add weight later on to your pull-ups. You can add weight to your push-ups by wearing a vest or something like that. But for me, the squats, just the regular old standard air squat, is not really enough to build strength, the strength that I want in my legs. So this is one that I'm gonna use a little bit of weight with. I prefer to do my weighted squats just using a kettlebell. You can switch it up. I think it's the hardest if you hold the kettlebell in the front carry position. It's gonna put more stress on your core. It's gonna force you to work a little harder to be stable and keep good form. But there's nothing wrong with every now and then slinging that kettlebell around to your back and just using it as a back squat type of weight. So how often should you do squats? Let's go with the 3 times a week. I think that's good. That's good for me. I'd say that's about how often I do squats, about 3 times a week. Some form of squat, whether it's back squat, front squat, switching it up. How many should you do? I don't know, 30 to 50, I guess. Break it up into sets if you need to. Every now and then go lighter weight and just do a straight set of 50. Again, the key is to keep switching this stuff up so your body doesn't get used to the same thing over and over and over again. So for the squat, again, front carry position, I'm just gonna hold the kettlebell just like this, and I'm gonna keep a nice neutral spine, feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. I'm gonna keep my elbows tucked in here, so I'm kind of bracing that weight. I'm gonna keep my head up looking straight forward. I'm gonna go down, break parallel with my quads, stand all the way back up until my knees are locked out. In the back carry position, I'm just gonna sling this thing around, hold it on my back. Again, good neutral spine, keep my head up, go down, stand all the way back up with the squat. Keep the weight more back toward the heels of your feet. You shouldn't be up on your toes when you squat down. You're gonna be a lot more stable if you keep that weight on your heels. So, squats is a super important exercise. Obviously, we need to hit our legs. We need to strengthen our legs because our legs are what move us across the surface of the earth. So that's the top 5 top 5 exercises, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Incorporate these into your everyday life, and it's going to impact your overall strength and fitness. And the last thing I want to talk about is going to be recovery anytime we do strength exercises, so we'll hit that. So anytime we do this strength work, it's really, really important for you to get some good protein in your body within an hour after you finish the workout. When I go out for a run or some sort of bike ride or something like that, I'm not so worried about it. I'm more worried about fueling during the workout. But for strength work, I'm always going to go from the strength work straight into getting some protein in my body so that my muscles can begin the rebuilding process as I tear them down with the strength work that I'm doing. So a couple different options for that. You can just go with the powder First Phorm whey protein. If you want to put it in a shaker cup, this is really good. It sits really well with my stomach. But if you didn't bring this with you, there's a lot of other options here. Whether it's just a straight up beef stick, a meat stick, these are really good. That's got 20 grams of protein in it. Or one of these level 1 bars right here, that's 20 grams of protein. So what I do is I've got these in a couple of these in my car always, or in my workout bag, my everyday carry bag, whatever. And so if I forget to bring the powder in my shaker cup, I can just grab one of these and I know I'm getting some good quality protein in my body within an hour after I finish the strength workout. So don't forget to do that. It's going to help you maximize the gains and the benefit that you're going to get from the exercises that we just talked about.